This month in SSW Tech News, DeepSeek AI stuns the industry with a powerful and cost-effective new tool. GitHub's Copilot evolves into an autonomous coding partner, and OpenAI develops a new tool that accelerates research like never before. I'm Eve Cogan, let's get into it. Starting with the news that no one can seem to get enough of this month, it's the game-changing new Chinese model, DeepSeek. You can have a look, it's just taken $500 billion off Nvidia's market cap. It is on par with the best available from American labs, and it's been trained more cheaply than its American peers. It is also quick. We can see that it is just as fast, actually a little bit faster, than OpenAI's O3 Mini. Not everyone is keen. The Australian government has banned this controversial AI system from its government devices. Hasn't stopped its adoption elsewhere though. We can see that DeepSeek R1 is already available on Azure AI Foundry and GitHub. So if you're getting into that, let us know your experiences in the comments. And for more on GitHub, we now have GitHub Agent Mode. It's the next evolution of AI-powered coding. It's actually their first software engineer agent. And it is pretty powerful. It's capable of iterating on its own code, recognizing errors, and fixing them automatically. I will note it's only available in preview, but if you are having a go, let us know how it is. And if you're looking at how to best prompt deep research in any AI model, OpenAI has just come out with the best practices for prompting. It starts off explaining the difference between the reasoning models versus the GPT models. I love the metaphor they've used here, calling the O series, the more complex ones, the planners, and the GPT series, the workhorses. So it helps you pick how to choose. Obviously, if you're looking at speed and cost as well as defined tasks, the GPT models are great. If you want reliability, accuracy, some complex problem solving, those O series models are great for that. It goes through in a little bit more depth about the two of them. And my favorite part here is when it tells you how to prompt these more advanced reasoning models. It's got quite a few in-depth points. If you're a coder, good to look at things like using delimiters for clarity and also the markdown formatting you should be using. And more for the devs. In the .NET 9 update, we now have boosted network capabilities. A few cool tools to look at include the new public APIs. In the WebSocket section, we have the long-desired ping-pong keep alive strategy to keep those WebSockets active. And also we have some keyed DI support, so some key dependency injection support, allowing you to specify the keys while registering multiple implementations of a single service type. You can have a look through all of these to see exactly how to get these new tools happening on your projects. And staying in the dev world, in Visual Studio Code, we now have version 1.97. And the update that everyone is talking about is over here. It's trusting extension publishers. So to bolster security, Visual Studio Code now has prompts to make users confirm trust when installing extensions from third-party publishers. So that's going to just ensure a safer development environment. And to zoom out a bit to the state of the industry, we are seeing some major layoffs in the tech section, and that's from Microsoft to Meta and Unity and more. We can see over here, Sonos has laid off 200 employees as it continues to struggle. Unity has also sent out these emails at 5 a.m. letting people know they're sacked. Same over here at Blue Origin, probably now that Elon Musk's SpaceX is getting all those juicy, financially lucrative government contracts. And at Microsoft, we are beginning to see the performance-based cuts. For more on this, you can check out The Verge. They've got all the layoffs and hiring freezes updated over here. But let's hope we don't see the continuation of this trend. And on a more positive note, Adobe Firefly has just released a video model, and it's IP friendly. So we can see here, it is the first and only generative AI model that's IP friendly and commercially safe. This just means it's being trained exclusively on content it has permission to use, such as licensed material from Adobe stock and public domain content. And the results are pretty impressive. If we have a look over here, we can see some natural landscapes. We can see some more studio setting type B-rolls like flames and smoke, as well as things in nature. and of course those stylized images that AI is famous for. Now we can generate some really high quality video and make sure it's actually safe to use and not infringing on anything that artists have created or been accidentally scraped on the internet. Great stuff from Adobe Firefly. And to finish with some more good news, this time from Microsoft Xbox, we have a year of play on the way. Some great titles like Ninja Gaiden 4, Doom: The Dark Ages, and, so they say, GTA 6 should be coming out later this year, as well as some tools like Xbox Play Anywhere and some cross-platform play features. A big year in gaming all up. That's all in SSW Tech News this month. So much is happening in the world of tech and AI, so if you think we've missed any great stories for devs, let us know in the comments. Up next, we have Ulysses McLaren for this month's user group. We have the Year of the Agent, from automated processes to automated intelligence. Over to you, Yuli.